Welcome in, guys. We're getting things set up real quick. Hi, Freeze. How's it going? I need this minimized. And then I need this. Oh, that's not going to work. Hey, Vinny. How did I do this last time? I need this window to be open at all times. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. That can stay open. New window. There we go. Maximize this. There we go. Merry Christmas to all. Um, so I'm not going to call this chapter 2 because I wasn't sure how many people would be streaming. I didn't schedule this. So I'm not going to continue the main storyline, but you guys are still welcome to visit different places and level up your Pokemon, catch any Pokemon. Um, but I'm not going to extend the world too much. So it's like chapter 1.5. So I need a show of hands of who is here to play right now. I see Butters in here, and Freeze said hi. I do have their information for the game. Butters' character is known as Pasco, and he has Poliwag. His name is Joyboy. Brotherhood's here. I know Brotherhood. I have you signed up, and I have messaged you all the information. So you'll be starting your journey today. If you are in the Discord, I did drop a few locations and a picture to match each one and a brief description. Butter, I just got your message on Discord too. Yeah, I did. I forgot. Well, I wasn't sure if I was gonna stream it tonight or not. This was gonna be an experimental thing, see if anybody showed up, and y'all did show up. So I'm glad to see that. I'm just gonna put down Brotherhood's information, and we will get things started. Where is there it is. So when we last left off, everybody spent the night at Kirby Farms where Professor Redwood gave everybody their starter Pokemon. Professor Redwood is forming the Pokemon Peace Corps. The acronym for it is PPC. And it's the Pokemon Peace Corps to pretty much bring a balance between mankind and the Pokemon world. Because this is a modern world. Just picture our world today, but all the animals have been literally replaced with the Pokemon. And of course, just like in the real world, we do have people with ill intentions, whether they be domestic terrorists or people fighting for resources, for money. Um, People would do that like how Team Rocket was, just on a more sinister level. Those are just some of the things that our trainers might come across in the future. So we have to roll to see what the weather's going to be for the day. We didn't do that last time because most of the game on the first stream was an introduction to how everything's going to work and operate. So depending on the number from the D20 will depend on the weather for the stream. The weather does matter because the weather will govern what spawns in the overworld and any additional effects on what will happen. Let's roll that D. Let's get this out of here. Roll the D20. And we get a 20. So on a 20, the weather is extreme based on what the previous weather was. Since there was no previous weather, then the weather's just going to remain the same. There is no difference, no change in weather today, so nothing will be affected in the overworld. So while everybody is asleep, and that's pretty much for the players who aren't here this time, they're just going to be sleeping, so to speak, in their last save spot, which was... Oh, caught me open. There we go. This here. No, I did not want to enlarge. A Christmas miracle. No harsh sun, no rainstorm, no snowstorm, no earthquakes, no tornadoes, no hurricanes, no tsunamis. Hey Barnabas, welcome in. We're just getting started. So it looks like that's okay, Barnabas. I said at the beginning we're not having I'm not going to progress the storyline today. It's just going to be an additional grinding. I know Brotherhood's starting his journey today, so he'll pretty much kind of go through what y'all went through on day one. So at the moment, we will have Brotherhood and Pasco. Brotherhood's character's name is Al. So Al shows up. He gets dropped off the city bus in front of Kirby Farms, and Professor Redwood is outside to greet him. Vinny. So the professor greets, as I already said that. The professor greets Al and brings him inside to the classroom. Pasco wakes up and Kirby Farms is the name of the place that you guys. It's not from Pikmin. There's actually a real Kirby Farms around here. Professor Redwood hands Al a Pokeball. Brotherhood says, sorry, Professor, for being late. I had a long travel. The professor says it's okay, better late than never. He expected that there's going to be multiple trainers showing up on a day-by-day basis. He gives you your Pokeball, and out of the Pokeball springs a Cottony. Now we're going to roll for your Cottony's nature. Depending on what the roll is, will govern what nature the Cottony is. If we roll a 20, we have to re-roll again. And if we get another 20, then your Cottony will be shiny. And the same rule goes into effect anytime I spawn a Pokemon into the game. We roll just to see what its nature is and what its shiny will be. Its nature does governs what stats will be higher and what stats will be lower. And we actually did get a shiny Tailo spawning on our first stream, which H caught. Barnabas was going for it and had a tough time capturing it, but H, who isn't here right now, was kind enough to catch it for him and to hand it off. So without further ado, let's roll for the Cottony's nature, and we get 10. Modest nature on the Cottony. So when it levels up, its special attack will go up higher, but its physical attack will not get any buffs. Which is really good for Cottony, because Cottony's not much of a physical attacker to begin with. So the professor hands Brotherhood, aka Al. I'll just refer to him as Al from this point forward, unless I have to address Brotherhood directly. Hands him a backpack with a cell phone. It's not a smartphone. It's just a cell phone where you could call up the professor at any time or any member of the PPC. All numbers for the PPC members have been recorded, so you'll be able to call and communicate with another player no matter where they are, unless for whatever reason there's no signal or if the player's not here. In addition to that, you get 6 Pokeballs and 2 potions to start off with in your inventory, Al. Speaking of H, he waves to the newcomers. Mega HK Rule, will you be playing this evening? In addition to the items that you received, Al, you also get $20. The professor goes ahead and explains what the purpose of the PPC is, what I had talked about earlier, being the fine line between mankind and the Pokemon. You'll have the authority in making overworld decisions, and whatever decisions you make will have certain outcomes, whether they be positive or negative outcomes. Those remain to see. Sometimes you'll have to be the one where you have to make a choice of the lesser of two evils. Not every choice is going to have a positive consequence. Oh, Right now, there's no shops around you, Butter, so you're not able to get any red bandanas yet. You're very welcome, Al. And then Professor Redwood explains that there are some local chores, daily chores to do on the farm if you want your Pokemon to get a little bit of experience. There's the food silo that regularly gets raided by wild Pokemon. They sneak in there, gnaw some of the bags, and choose some of the food. And then there are bird Pokemon that steal the grain and food from all of the farm's own Pokemon. There's livestock like Tauros, Milk Tank, Mudbray, and wild bird Pokemon come and steal that stuff right up. Vinny, if you actually want to play Vinny, there is a sign up um, in the Discord/community post. You can use either one. All right, Butter, if you want to try to make a scarf or a bandana or anything, we'll go ahead and roll. We'll do a perception roll for you to see what's around. You get an 11. There's a checkered handkerchief sitting on like one of the bookcases in the room. That's all you see that could be used into a bandana. No problem, Vinny. Al goes to pet Cockney on the head after some reassurance. You feel the soft touch of Cottony's fluff, and Cottony appreciates you bonding with it. And Cottony gladly floats around you playfully. Hello, Carnage King. Welcome to the stream. We're just doing a Pokemon tabletop RPG, kind of like a watered down versions of Dungeons and Dragons, but with Pokemon. Barnabas rolls for Snoot Boops on his Dratini. He gets an 8. Dratini still looks a bit tired, but lets you boop it on the snoot. Titan, which is the name of Barnabas's Dratini, I guess isn't a morning Pokemon. Excuse me. See if I can get the Discord from here. So here are a few locations. This is Apollo Park. If you did rename him Noodle, Barnabas, I did not write that down. I have him written down as Titan. Oh yeah, you did say you wanted him to be Noodle, and then you did ask me if you can change his name. So yeah, you are correct. His name is actually Noodle. I forgot to write that down. My bad. So the professor is explaining if you do not want to stay on the farm, there are a few locations you can visit. There is a Polo Park, a small town where trainers gather to meet, battle, trade, and play with their Pokemon. Festivals and events are common, but today there is nothing going on festival wise. There's Cedar Lakes. It's a large sinkhole that fills with water. Um, Water levels will depend on the weather and how much rain you usually get. Some areas may be inaccessible as a result, depending on what it is. However, there is an entry fee. It's $10 per person if you want to visit that area. There is Daytona, a popular coastal city with a busy beach. The boardwalk offers a large variety of shops, games, hotels, and restaurants. There is Fort Jefferson, an historic fort on the Dry Tortuga Islands. It's located in the middle of the ocean, however, so it's only accessible via sea or air. So if you don't have a Pokemon that can surf or can fly there, you're going to have to resort to finding somebody to fly you or ship you there, and it'll be costly. So I don't think that location, even though it is there, I don't think it's accessible to anybody right now. We have Rainbow Springs. It's a state park that offers a variety of large trails and wild Pokemon. However, because it's a state park, there is an entrance fee, and that's $5 per person. You can see a trail that goes through the woods, and there's also trails that run parallel to the river. And then we have the ash fields. Rangers control the growth of the surrounding forests by doing monthly burns. Pokemon still inhabit this wild and potentially dangerous area, but it is free to go to. So those are your options. The professor put these spots onto your phones. Your phones get a little upgrade. They're not super smartphones, but they are able to be used in that manner as far as like a miniature GPS. So those are your surrounding options. You can either do the daily tasks on the farm or try to visit one of those places. Freeze, since you were the first one here, you get first choice. If that means if you're playing. No problem, Barnabas. I do understand it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day in some parts. So, like I said, that's why I'm not expanding the storyline much. I'll go ahead and roll for your cuddles. Because Noodle is still groggy, he accepts cuddling with you in the bed, and you guys will sleep for the remainder of the day. And Merry Christmas to you, Barnabas. Thanks for stopping by. To choose what to do, Freeze. Um, Either do one of the missions on the farm or go to one of the new areas. But if you weren't paying attention, I have to move on to the next person, which would be Pasco. Butter, are you there? It's okay, Freeze. I just gotta try to keep things going. And this won't be a long stream either. At most, we'll probably just go an hour. Because I do understand that it is a busy day today, potentially. All right, I don't see any response from Butter, so we move on to Al, aka Brotherhood. What would you like to do, Al? Excuse me. Ashfields would be good, but you think to explore a bit of the farm? All right. So there's two spots on the farm. There's the food silo, and then there's the field. The food silo uh, is indoors. The field is outdoors. The field does have Pokemon out there, except for the bird Pokemon that might be out there. You can expect to see some Tauros, some Miltank, some Mudbray, but all those Pokemon are owned by the professor, so those cannot be caught or battled with. And Freeze, if you want to see what the new places are, I did post them in the Discord if you want to look at those. Al takes Puff on a walk to know him better. Alright, so if you're going on a walk outside the farm, you're in the fields. See what you'll see. 17. In the distance, you do outside of the fence an area. You do manage to make a silhouette of a Pokemon. And that Pokemon is Ponyta. Upon closer inspection, that you see that the Ponyta does not have a tag on it, so it does not look like it's owned by anybody. I'm gonna roll for its nature. 11. Mild. It's a mild Ponyta. Hey, H. Carroll, what did you get for Christmas? So I think we only have Freeze and Brotherhood here, so you guys can go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. It's only two of you. You guys can go ahead and give me your decisions at the same time. Mega HK Rules here too. I didn't know if you were playing or not, like doing anything. K Rule H, I should say H. Can you roll to sneak around and attack it from surprise? You certainly can. See what your roll is, and since it's a physical sneak, this will dictate what your dexterity is, which I believe is a 2. So 2 would be added to the roll. Yes. So if this roll plus your dexterity is higher than this Ponyta's speed, then you'll be able to successfully sneak attack it. All right. You get a successful sneak attack, so you have committed it to battle, and you get the first move. Ponyta is not aware of your presence. Professor Redwood tells H that somebody needs to check out the food silos again and patrol the fields to keep the bird Pokemon away from stealing food from his Pokemon. Those are the only jobs on the farm today. Brotherhood, your Cottony's attacks are Helping Hand and Absorb. I sent you Absorb. Alright. So it's a d4 roll plus your special attack. 1 plus 4 is 5. However, since it is a grass attack, it is going against Ponyta, which is a fire. So after calculations, the final calculation will be whether it's a type advantage or disadvantage. So this move's power is going to be cut in half because it's not very effective. So it does minimal damage to the Ponyta. Ponyta is now aware of your presence, but you get to move again because your Cottony is faster. I assume you're just gonna constantly use Absorb because Helping Hand's not gonna, since you're by yourself, Helping Hand's not gonna do anything. Hello, Tom Lakari. Welcome in and Merry Christmas. H says he will check the silo today. Alright, we're gonna finish this Pokemon battle between the Ponyta and the Cottony. Another Absorb. This time it's 2, so plus 1 damage to the Ponyta. The Ponyta shows no signs of backing down. It takes the Absorb, but now the Ponyta gets to fight back. The Ponyta uses Tackle. It does minimal damage against Puff. Puff has 11 HP remaining. Freeze is coming to help the Ponyta. Freeze has Charmander. Puff gets to go again. Now that Charmander is there, does Puff use Helping Hand, or will you continue to use Absorb on the Ponyta? Absorb. Decent damage. The Absorb heals Cottony back to full health to 13. So you won't be able to see the exact HP that Ponyta has. I can only give you clues of what the Pokemon looks like. There are certain classes that are able to check on the exact HP of the Pokemon, and you are not that class, or they don't have that ability unlocked yet. The Ponyta shows no signs of backing down. It's like it never took any damage. It is Frieza's Charmander's turn to either use Scratch or Growl. Growl. Alright, the Ponyta's physical attack is reduced by 1. Ponyta goes to use Tackle on Cottony. Where'd my dice go? Regular damage. 3 damage to Puff. Puff is at 10 health. Puff gets to go again. Absorb some more, I assume. Puff's HP goes back to full health from the Absorb. Freezes Charmander's turn. Scratch. Minimal damage, but the Ponyta's back leg is starting to buckle. Ponyta goes to use Tackle on Charmander. Charmander takes some damage and goes to 10 health out of 13. It is Al's / Puff's turn. Throw in the Pokeball. Alright, now the way this works is I have to roll 5 d20s. You have to roll under the capture rate to catch the Ponyta. Ponyta's capture rate is 25 base. Because it is at 50% health, it increases by 5, so 30. You have to roll under a 30 to successfully catch this Ponyta. So let's see if that'll happen. 3, 17. Nope. Catch failed. 1 Pokeball is taken away from your inventory. It is Frieza's turn. Freeze, what will you do? Scratch? Alright. Get rid of these. Scratch as a D4 plus the Charmander's attack. Decent damage to the Ponyta. The Ponyta is now limping, and the flames are starting to flicker out on its back. They're not burning as bright as they were. Ponyta goes to use Tackle. Where'd my dice go? Just a little bit of damage to Charmander. Charmander's at 8 health out of 13. Back to you, Freeze. Or, sorry, back to you, Al. Another Pokeball is thrown. This time, the Ponyta has less than 25% health, so that increases the capture rate by 15, taking it to from 25 to 50. So now the capture rate is 40. If you roll under 40, you catch it. Oh, 20. That's not good. 21. All right. 26. Still possible. Oh, if you get a 1, nope. It breaks out of the Pokeball. You have 4 balls left. Freeze's turn. Ponyta's attack stat is reduced. Ponyta goes to tackle on Charmander. Charmander takes 4 damage. His Blaze has activated, but he doesn't know any fire attacks, so that doesn't really do much of anything. But Charmander has 4 health out of 13 and is looking hurt. Back to you, Al. Charmander has been healed back up to 13. And 1 potion deducted from Al's inventory. Freeze's turn. Growl. Alright, the attack stat is reduced. Ponyta goes to tackle Puff. Puff takes 1 damage. Puff's at 12 out of 13. Back to you, Al. Pokeball. Need to get under 40. 12. 20. 32. Nope. Breaks out of the ball. You have 3 Pokeballs left. Hey, Sebastian. Merry Christmas to you, too. Freeze's turn. The attack stat has been reduced. Ponyta uses tackle on Puff. 1 damage to Puff. Puff's at 11. Back to you, Al. Absorb. All right. The Ponyta takes the absorb damage. It's not very effective. Puff goes to full health. Ponyta collapses, but then gets up on its legs, still not giving up. Freeze throws a Pokeball. The capture rate is now 50. 12, 11, 3, 2. The Ponyta stays in the ball. Freeze catches the Ponyta. And its nature was mild, I think it was. Excuse me. Yep, mild. Freeze gives it to Brotherhood. Freeze. Do you accept? Does Al accept the gift? All right, so both of your all's Pokemon go up by 2 levels. So Charmander goes to Charmander's nickname is Danny, I believe. So he goes to level 3, and Puff goes to level 3. Thank you, I accept. And gives Pokeball as thank you gift. Alright, so you now have 2 Pokeballs left, Al. And Freeze, you have 5. Replacing the one that you threw. So Freeze, which you get to put 2 stats increased in your Charmander since you leveled up by 2. Because of your relaxed nature, you cannot do speed, and your Charmander's defense goes up automatically by 2 points. So what two stats or 1 stat do you want to increase by 2? You can do 2 other stats by 1 apiece, or you can choose 1 stat to go up by 2. And the same goes for you, Brotherhood. You get to put 2 points into Puff, as long as it's not in physical attack, because of your modest nature, and your special attack goes up by 2 automatically. Alright, I'll choose for you, Freeze. So Danny the Charmander's defense is now at 6. And I'll go ahead and put 1 in special defense, which is also 6. And 1 in HP, which is HP goes from 13 to 15. Al, are you do you know what points you want to put into Puff yet? And do you want to nickname your Ponyta? And H, are you back yet? Alright, H, you went to the silo. So let's see what you'll see in the silo. The Ponyta's name will be Razor. And you roll random stats to the pool. Alright, so let me get Razor written down. And I'll roll the stat count. I'll roll a d6 with each stat getting a chance to get a buff, as long as it's not physical attack. Physical attack, if I roll a 2 physical attack, I'll just re-roll it. So the first stat buff goes to 6, which is speed. Second one goes to defense. So 1 in speed, 1 in defense for Puff. Speed's at 8, defense is at 7. So H, you rolled a 14 in the silo. You hear a squeaking sound at the top of corner of the silo, and you see a spinnerack. A spinnerack has made a small web in the corner of the silo. Let's roll for its nature. 18. It's timid, so upon seeing you, it quickly scurries behind its web, hiding its face. What will you do, H? The web is up high. It's away from any of the food, but it's still in the silo. H tries to convince it to not be afraid and holds the Pokeball out to see if it wants to join his team. You do not throw the Pokeball, though. Alright, H, let's see what you got. Charisma is a 2. And the spinner rack. Capture rate. Alright, you will need a 19 or a 20 to pull this off. One shy. The spinner rack gets scared and drops to the ground and scurries out of the silo. The spinner rack has successfully run away. Alright, any freeze, Al? That is all that was in the silo at the moment. Freeze, Al, and H, you guys can decide what you want to do at any point. Whoever tells me first, that's what we'll do. Alright, H goes out to patrol the fields. And you come across a Pidgey. Hey, Chumpapa. You come across a Pidgey pecking at some grain on the ground. Let's roll for the Pidgey's nature. 11. Mild. It's a mild Pidgey. Merry Christmas, Chumpapa. I'll ask the professor if he needs help on the farm. The professor says the silo has been checked. H did that for me, and you guys are doing a good job patrolling the fields. H battles the Pidgey. Froakie. Froakie's nickname is Mega. Mega gets to go first. You got Pound and you got Ral, I think. All right. Oh, I gotta switch to Pidgey. Pound. 1 plus the attack stat, which is 7, so 8 damage to the Pidgey minus the Pidgey's defense. Pidgey gets hit hard. Kind of flops to the ground, but maintains its balance and goes to use tackle. Ooh, you know what? I've totally been forgetting the accuracy checks. Still a hit though. Like the ones and the for crits and stuff, but not a major deal. Okay, so Pidgey does tackle on Mega. Mega has 11 HP out of 13. Back to Mega. Mega throws a Pokeball. Pidgey catch rate. Pidgey catch rate is 40. It's at half health, so 45. You gotta roll under 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. Failed. Pidgey breaks out of the Pokeball. H, you have 4 balls left. Pidgey uses tackle. See if it hits. Succeeds. Mega takes 3 damage. Mega goes to 10 health. Or not 10, 8 health out of 13. Back to Mega. Pound. See if it hits. Succeeds. Decent damage. Pidgey falls down all the way, but gets back up. What is it called? Heaving. You can hear its breath as it's breathing heavily. Pidgey goes to use tackle. Succeeds. Heavy damage. That's 4 damage to Mega. Mega is at 4 health. Back to you, Mega. Both Pokemon are breathing heavily. You give Mega a potion. Mega's at full health, 13 health. Pidgey uses tackle. Succeeds. Minimal damage. 2 damage. 11 out of 13 for Mega. Back to you, Mega. Excuse me. You throw a Pokeball. You need to get under 65. 19. 16. 15. 69. All high rolls. Pidgey breaks out. Pidgey goes to use tackle. Succeeds. Decent damage. 3 damage to Mega. Putting Mega at 8. Back to you, Mega. You also have 2 Pokeballs left. You throw one more Pokeball. Alright. 11. 20. 5. 1. You got it, because there's no way you can get higher than that. Alright, the Pidgey is successfully yours. It's a female, mild nature. And you have 1 Pokeball left. I will send you the information on Discord about your Pidgey. Do you want to give it a nickname in the meantime, each? You decide not to give it a nickname. Okay, it is just Pidgey at this point. At any time, you can go back and nickname it. And that goes with everybody and everybody's Pokemon. Your Mega has leveled up to level 4. What stat do you want to increase for your Froakie H? Special attack. Alright, special attack becomes 6, physical attack becomes 8 due to the nature. Alright, we're going to do one more action for each person, and then we're going to go on a raid and call it a night. So we'll transition to Freeze and Al. You guys are on the perimeter of the farm, while HK is in the center of the field. H, I should say. So the characters will learn their moves based on the Scarlet and Violet Pokédex. So if you want to look up that information on either Bulbapedia or Cerebi, but I know Froakie learns Water Gun at level 5, so we have one more level to go, H. But like I said, all Pokemon will learn their moves based on the Scarlet and Violet Pokédex, and the only difference is that their moves are gonna like some of the moves get changed in this game. They're not gonna operate exactly how they will. Like quick attack, anything that has a priority attack, uh, those work differently in this game, but I'll explain that later when the time comes. Al looks around the field and gets a 14 plus 2 to his perception, 16. You see something glistening in one of the troughs. The sunlight is reflecting off the water that's in one of the water troughs in the field. There's something shining in the trough. H decides to heal Mega with a potion. That's your last potion. You no longer have any more potions, Mega. Roll to pat him on the head. 5. Mega winces at the head pat due to the wounds that it took in battle, but it appreciates you bonding with it. It was feeling lonely because of its lonely nature. Al takes a closer look. All right, in the trough, you find a nugget. But as you go grab the nugget, a Murkrow swoops in to attack. Let's roll its nature. 7. Impish nature. All right, let's look at the stats. Impish is defense up, special attack down. The Murkrow gets to move first. And the Murkrow will use Peck. So we need to see if it hits. Succeeds. Peck only misses if a 1 is rolled. 2 plus the attack stat for Murkrow. 6. So that's 8 minus the defense of Puff. However, because it's flying versus grass, move is super effective. So Puff takes 8 damage. bringing his health down from 13 to 5. It is Puff's turn. Puff did learn a new move when going to level 3. I did forget to mention that. Puff has Fairy Wind now. It is a special attack, fairy damage. It's a D4 plus special attack. So Puff did learn Fairy Wind at level 3. So both Pokemon have super effective moves against each other. But do you take the risk of continuing the fight? Keep in mind, your Pokemon can die in this game. If the Pokemon's max HP, because your HP can go into the negatives, and if they reach the negative value of your max HP, of their max HP, excuse me, then they are killed. Ponyta or Ponyta has two health left. It never got healed from the battle. You could try to run away, or you could put your Pokemon back in the Pokeball, run away from the fight, call for help, or take the chance at getting Fairy Wind against the Murkrow. Run away, it's too risky to do this. Alright, what is your dexterity? Your dexterity is 2. And the Murkrow's speed is 9. So if you have to get 13 or higher. You'll still run, but if you get less than 13, there'll be a consequence. All right, the Murkrow pecks you in the back. And you yourself take... You take 5 damage to your health. But you successfully get away, and then the Murkrow picks up the nugget in its beak from the water and flies off with it. So you personally have, I think, 11 health left. So I think this is going to conclude the stream. We are going to go on a raid. The professor calls everybody back inside. He made plenty of Pokemon kibble for your Pokemon to eat, healing them all up to full health, including the ones that you just caught. No problem, Brotherhood. Or I should say, Al. But your Pokemon are all healed now. And you will be healed now next time you start again. We will be playing this next week, same time, 6 p.m. We are going to advance the story a little bit, open up more areas. We will be going on a raid now. Let's see who will be our target, so we can wish them a Merry Christmas as well. Who's doing some Pokemon stuff? Puff and Razor, accept your apology. All right. Do any of you guys have a raid target? Anybody that's playing Pokemon? Actually, hold on. We're gonna go raid this person. I want to raid somebody that we've raided before. They're playing Super Mario Maker. Are they there though? Yeah, they're there. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're gonna go raid Dark Moon Sylveon. Yeah, we're gonna raid Joyce. Thank you for looking though. I appreciate it. Chumpapa. We're gonna use the hashtag Swamp Swarm, and we want to wish Joyce a Merry Christmas as well. Thank you guys for spending Christmas Eve with me tonight. Smash will probably not happen tomorrow, with tomorrow being Christmas, but we'll be playing Pokemon Scarlet on Tuesday to farm for more BP and such. So again, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, and I'll see you on Joyce's stream.